Hi everyone, it's me again. Yeah, hello mate. We're talking Liverpool. Obviously, we're going to talk Liverpool. We're going to talk about what you think about the new stands opening, the Annie Road stand on the 17th of December. But there's a caveat there. It's got to pass the safety test. That 3,000 fans can go in, sit down, whatever, walk around. And if it's okay, it'll be open for the Manchester United game. I'd like your comments, but to see if you agree or not agree. I've got my guests on tonight. I've got my vase of flowers, Lee Carlson. The vase of flowers, he's coming on. So it could be just me and him tonight, unfortunately. Just Lee and myself. And I wonder what he says about it. Bring him on in a minute, because Redbird's singing, "Why Are We Waiting?" I had to fix my wig. I had to glue my wig on. Anyway, I've got Lee on here, and there he is. There he is. Hey, Lee, you're okay?
Yeah, it just took me an inhaler, just breathing out. Getting a good breath.
I have to do the same, Lee. I have to do the same, exactly the same, because I
only smoke me when I have a beer, right? If I don't have a beer, I don't smoke. The two things are inextricably linked for me. I should never have started being an asthmatic, but you know what I mean? It's just one of them things in life. Yeah. You do find it. Stupid people like me.
Yeah, it's horrible, because when you're walking, put it this way, it happens to me. When you're walking, it takes it out of you. It takes all your breath away. When you're in the match, it's so. When I go to the game, it's so funny. It really is, because you're trying to shout. You do shout, but all of a sudden you just can't. You can't shout anymore because your breath is gone. It's gone, and that's the way it is.
Mine used to go when I used to play football before I ever smoked. When I was just a boy, a schoolboy, when I used to play footy, like Sunday league, school footy, and that, I'd get like really breathless after about 3 or 4 minutes, but then it'd go away. You know what I mean? My chest would sort of like get into it, my lungs would get into it, and it'd just go away then, and it didn't bother me at all. But the first like 5 minutes were always a slog to get me lungs going as an asthmatic footballer, like,
Yeah, I know it's so bad, but that's the way it is. Unfortunately, I've been very lucky with me health. I had an aneurysm. I know I'm talking about bloody health things, but issues. But I had an aneurysm 2 years ago. Saved me life. It saved me life. And I went up and seen the surgeon, and I said to him, from one stranger to another, "Thank you for saving my life." And he looked at me and he said, "No one's ever said that to me before." I said, "Haven't it about saving you?" He said, "No, from one stranger to another." He said, "I'll remember that." And he was only a young man.
Yeah.
He was only a young fella, So I was made up with that, So I'll just get onto these things, listen to this one. This is a crack of this. And I've always said, it's the lovely Anne. And he says, even in French, just to say, your heroes and villains episodes are brilliant. Also, I have mentioned before, I am not Anne. I'm a gent on my wife's account.
Another one.
Another one, yeah. So, I thought it had a little female fan club, but unfortunately I haven't. After all, fellas. Anyway, do us a favour, Anne's husband. Tell us your name. Tell us your name. I will remember it when the account comes up. Anyway, JK, Bless Frank, vase of flowers. Hope you're well, bros. Thank you, JK. Yes. Yeah, he's saying hello to you. Isn't that lovely? And Snapey says, evening squires and squiresses.
I love Squire. I use Squire myself. I find it funny. I don't know if it comes from Treasure Island or something like the like of saying the word Squire Trelawney or something. I don't know where it comes from, but I've always found that one quite funny.
Robert Lewis Stevenson. No, I'll tell you where it comes from. It comes from Wuthering Heights.
All right, yeah.
Wuthering Heights. That's where it comes from.
Do you know what? I've never read Wuthering Heights.
It's brilliant.
Things I've never got round to.
It's absolutely brilliant. It's not hearing a full story. You know, when someone's talking, you see Heathcliff and he's standing there, and Kathy is talking to, like, she's the head of the household. She's the head of the household, and she's saying some certain things about Heathcliff. Yeah. And he goes back, you know, he's shocked because, you know, she says she loved him, and he said he loved her, and then he hears her saying this, and then all of a sudden he just, as I said, he overhears it, and then he's shocked, and then walks away, never to be seen again, you know, for years. Like, but he goes away, and if he would have listened to the conversation, she would have heard Kathy saying to the governor, she wasn't a governess, she was head of the household, saying, but I love him, and I love him dearly.
Of course he did. He's a Scouser, wasn't he, Heathcliff? He was an orphan from the streets of Liverpool, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was a street urchin.
Yeah,
he was a street urchin. And you know, Kathy's daddy came to Liverpool, and he was looking around, you know, on a business, and he seen this young kid, and he took him. He said, you know, this is terrible, and he brought him back. But anyway, you know, that's that.
I've got Pride and Prejudice. I've read that. I've got that there. My mum gave me that years ago.
Do you know what? When I was studying, I couldn't bear Jane Austen. I was choking because I had to read Jane Austen.
Was it a bit too sweet? Was it in part?
Well, the thing is, everybody was writing around. The Napoleonic Wars were going on at the time she was writing, but she has a little enclosed thing. You know, she never mentions anything about wars or anything. So she has all this little enclosed thing, keeping away from any political stuff, which I'm very well into. So, you know, I choked on it, to be honest, choked on it. But that's the way it is. But I'll get through these anyway. And there's JK blessing everyone. Who's had the scissors near your wig? They've cut the front of it off.
Man, I got a shocking haircut. My last haircut, it's dead short. It's sticking up like that kid out the in-betweeners. You know, like that lad in the in-betweeners with the gelled up fringe. Because that's what my fringe looks like. It doesn't look like it there, but he's cut me fringe dead short. It wasn't my regular barber, and I can't bear it, what he's done to it. It's my own fault.
Doesn't help us, does it? Doesn't help our asthma. As Brian McMahon says, because even if Frank and Lee do what I did 12 years ago and stop smoking cold turkey, just tell your brain repeatedly, it's not for you. Good luck, mate. That's a nice
It works when I'm sober. I've smoked a ciggy. I smoked a ciggy sober on my way. It was on my break in work about 5 years ago, and it was repulsive. And the woman who used to get the bus with of a morning outside used to smoke. And because I was sober, the smell of their smoke knocked me sick. But then as soon as I have a pint, the smell, it's nothing. You know what I mean? There's nothing in the smell once I've had a pint, right?
Yeah. and says, well, I don't know his name. A bit like film review, Frank and Lee's health hour coming soon. Look on the bright side, Lee. You're gasping for breath. Beats Everton gasping for points.
Oh, poor Everton.
Norman is my name, Frank. All right, Norm. That'll do me. That'll do me. So it's not, and it's Norm. Okay, Norm. You're a good man. Even if Frank and Lee, I'm in the same boat. It's hard to give up, says Arthur Schofield. Well, that's a good point. Is it weed you're smoking, Lee? Says that bit.
Well, they call it social smoking when you do it with drinking, don't they? If you don't do it like when you're not drinking, they call you a social smoker, don't they?
Yeah.
It just depends how often you drink, really.
Yeah. And Snapey says, at least you've Normanised yourself, Anne.
Norman Conquest.
Oh, this is lovely. Good evening, chap, says Charlie Wood. Good evening, Charlie. Evening, mate. I wanted to ask you all a question. And you, Lee, I'll be going to you, obviously, but I want these lads to comment on what I'm going to ask, by the way. Because we've got a full show tonight. You know, we've got like your team selection. We've got the Andre fiasco. We've got, is anyone else coming in the January window? Also, are we going after anybody else? You know, this is all what we'll be talking about later on. I think that we do need somebody. I definitely need a number 6. That's in my opinion. Even in what's tonight's subject about, says Gary Rigby. I'm just going to tell you about the first question, to be honest. And JK says, bless that Norman, and you'll never walk alone. And Norm says, I lost my hair at 21 and I still blame Souness time as our manager.
It was a very stressful time, Norman.
Can I come on, Frank? The unfortunate thing, I can't send out any, Darryl, I can't send out, unfortunately, any links because Jason's not here. He's not working. But don't worry, I'll have you on. I will have you on again next week sometime. It'll be next Thursday. If Jason comes in. But I doubt it. Unfortunately. Gary Rigby had a visit to Kirby today. Imagine living there. It was like a night of the living dead. What? After Schofields, when you're bored for something to do, when you're bored for something to do, it's the worst time if you're alone. You're spot on there. You are spot on. Because there's nothing like... this is where mental health comes in. And it's shocking. My daughter, you know, she's a mental health nurse. And she said when she first became, she packed up teaching actually, because she felt so, she always wanted to help people. And so she decided, and she went back to university, and now she's a mental health nurse. And do you know where she is tonight, Lee? She's in the final of a comedy thing. She won one final, and she's in another one tonight. And it's to go through to somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know where she is, you know, but I hope she breaks her leg anyway.
So it's up on stage, like telling jokes.
Yeah.
How brilliant! Yeah, brilliant.
That's what she does. You know, she goes on these circuits and things.
Must be great, a good confidence builder.
Yeah.
You know, to get up there and try and make people laugh, like you've got to have some front on you there to try it in the first place, haven't you?
Well, as I said, when she became a mental health nurse, she said to me, "I'm going to have a field day with you, Dad." I said, "Oh, thanks very much." A field day with a dad. So you have to be careful what I say when she's around. Oh, that's lovely, JK. That's lovely. Thank you, JK. Good luck to Francine. People who can do comedy are very clever people. That's a cracker. Listen, people, can you just press the like button for me, please? Just press it. Even if you don't like me, just press the like. Even if you don't like me, just press the like. But if you like us, press the like. Get the algorithm out there. But anyway, here's my question, people. The Liverpool Stadium, the Annie Road, opening for the Manchester United game. Are you made up?
Big time, yeah.
But the caveat is, it's got to pass a test, a safety test. A safety test. So what's your take on it, Lee, you know, about the Manchester United game being like more or less a full house?
Well, yeah, I read it on the Echo website before, and it came out of nowhere for me because I hadn't heard anything. To be honest, I rarely look at the Echo website anymore. But I looked at it, and it said, yeah, I think it said 60%. It'd be 60% full, hopefully, for the Man United game, which is better than what we thought, because we thought it was going to take till Chelsea, didn't we, on the 30th? Oh, no, they said Chelsea would be the first full one.
Yeah.
And as far as I know, that could still be true. It's saying that the West Ham in the Carabao, what's the other one?
No, it came back, Lee. It came back. It was only last week or the week before when they said it won't be finished now, and Anfield Road won't be finished until next year. You know, after the season ends. Anyway, so I'm just there. Let's see what people are saying. Snapey says nothing about the stand though. Last time I went to the circuit, it came as a shock. And Norman says, my family has a vast history with Liverpool, having worked in fruit markets for years, and I managed to find my grandfather unloading his lorry on film in the 1960s. He died before I was born. Whoa. And JK says, check out Mr. Drone and KC Imageworks for the latest on the new stands, etc. I've got a friend, and he's a photographer. His name is Paul Frost. He's the best. Mr. Drone's good, you know. But I'd rather, if you get onto Paul Frost, he gives you everything. He gives you right up to like shoddy brickwork and shoddy. Everything is shoddy. You want to see what he's put up, and they need pointing. All the brickwork, most of the brickwork need pointing. So get onto Paul Frost. Just give him a go. He's absolutely brilliant. Me and Jason, I said to him, we went on a paranormal thing. We were invited to go on a paranormal thing, and I phoned Frosty up and I said, do you fancy coming down and taking a few photos? And he said, yeah. So anyway, he came with us. Never ever again will I go on a paranormal thing. Now, the fella who invited us down, he said, I won't talk about it. If you want me to talk about it, I'll tell you, but never again will I go on.
Well, I do like stuff like that, but I was sadly disappointed by the Pope's Exorcist. I watched that last week and it wasn't scary at all. Because
I
like
tell you what,
I watched it in my dad's, and I said to him, "Does demonic possession scare you as a Protestant?" Because like it's a Catholic rite, isn't it? Exorcism.
yeah,
Protestants don't have it.
exorcism, yeah.
And he said, "I've never thought about it, son. I've never thought about it like that." So fair play, like, but I do like a good scare, like.
Well, I was terrified. In the flesh, it was, by the way. You know, we were there.
Yeah.
We were there, and it frightened me.
Yeah,
It
I think I'd poo myself as well, like definitely.
Well, Jason said to me, "We've been invited again." I said, "Well, you can go again. You're on your own." I walked out. You know, I said, "I'm going home. I can't do this. I can't do this." I went. I left. It was shocking. It was frightening. Never
Yeah,
again.
yeah.
Let's get on to
There's some places, isn't there? There's some places that have definitely got like darkness in them and that. Like,
yeah.
I don't know how to explain it properly, like, but I think that's true.
Yeah. Well, anyway, let's get on to these things. I've followed Liverpool home and abroad since 1982, says Norman. JK, it's looking more cleaner and tidy around the new stand now, and the road is taking shape. Yes, and he carries on by JK by saying, "Yeah, Mr. Frost as well." And Norman says, "Jay Kismet feels sorry for the comedians now. People are offended by everything." Yeah, actually. Keegan Murphy. Hey, Frank. Hey, Lee. Hope everyone is good. Can't wait for the game. You never walk alone, says Keegan. What a name that is. Keegan Murphy. But it's the best name here. Lisa Sims. Come on, you mighty lads. Hey, Lisa.
And I've had friends called Keegan. I've had friends called Murphy. My sister was called Lisa. She's not with us anymore, sadly. Like, but all good names.
Yeah, and every Lisa I know is a very pretty girl.
Our Lisa was. Yeah, our Lisa was only a year older than me.
And a Vicky. Anyone named Vicky? Pity I've never had a Lisa or a Vicky to take out. They always seem to be these pretty girls. JK, exactly, Norman. The world has gone backwards. You can do what you want, but you can't say what you want. It's what you call, JK, freedom of speech, my friend. It's what you call freedom of speech. It's gone. It's not the stand that needs testing for safety. It's the scummy manx.
Yeah, definitely. We need to check them for diseases on the way in, don't we? Just getting some water.
JK says, I don't do horror films. Never have, never will. It wasn't a matter of horror films with me. It was real life. It was absolutely horrendous. Horrendous. Good evening, lads. I'm watching there's a film about Julian Assange, Frank. I'll be watching that, to be honest, Julian Assange, because on my shows I have free Julian Assange. The man is in prison for nothing. He's never been charged. This government is diabolical, and the American government is diabolical over the truth. You can't say the truth unless you're sanctioned or put in jail like Julian Assange. Shocking. Norman says the living are more scary than the dead. There you go. Shane McGowan. Even in fellas, that was a pint for you there. There's a pint of shame. The more support, the better for the Man U game. If the stands will open in stages, it will make it easier on the eye for some. And Keegan Murphy. Mum's name is Lisa. Oh, that's not Lisa. No, that won't be because her name. What was her name? Lisa Sims. Because it would have said, wouldn't it? Lisa Sims. Or Lisa Lisa Murphy. Only my opinion, but Silver as a player, we must stop Saturday. He is glued to everything they do well. Okay.
Definitely, Norman.
If those Snapey says, if those who populate those seats make a real noise above the heads of the Mank away fans, then it can only fuel the already stoked atmosphere against the fans of those imbecile inbreds.
Do you know what? Some of them are all right. I was having a ding dong with one on the internet this morning though, because he just kept it was on a live stream. He kept using victims repeatedly. I said, mate, that's simultaneously tiresome and disrespectful. Please shut up. But no, it was actually after I had a go at him, and it was very verbose and clever what I said to him, and it shut him up. He disappeared for a while, and then he come back and he said, "Don't talk to me like that." And I said, "Well, ease up on the victim stuff, please." Because he was just doing it every comment. Any Liverpool fan he disagreed with, it was victim, calling us tramps and that as well. So I started calling him Little Lord Fauntleroy for a laugh, like saying, "How posh are you, lad, if we're so trampy here in Liverpool?" I said, "Where are you from?" And he never even told me. I don't even think he was from Manchester. But
well, there you go. You know, it's social network. That's why I came off Facebook, to be honest. Because
at the same time, I was having a good laugh this morning with another Man United fan in the same stream at the same time. He was a nice enough lad, and we were respectful of each other. But it was this other idiot constantly giving it that. So he baited me because I usually ignore him. It's beneath me usually, but he just kept on today until I snapped. So I had to say something.
Well, this is the way it is, you know, with some fans, and it's bloody shocking.
Amazing anyway.
Yeah, let's go through some of these. Keegan Murphy says the vote that was turned down will only lead to more dodgy transfers. Absolutely agree. Absolutely agree with you there, Keegan. I bet they don't tell the truth about Julian Assange in the film. If they do, I'll be surprised, say Redbird. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's like I won't watch Oppenheimer because I know for a fact that Sir James Chadwick won't be mentioned, because the Americans love to be the heroes of everything, and they're not. They are not. So it's like the Enigma machine. The British got it. The British got the Enigma machine of the Germans.
Yeah.
And a film came out, I think it was in the late 80s, and the Americans got it.
Yeah. Isn't the film named after a submarine or something like U-109 or something?
Yeah, that's right. And they try to change history through film. Hollywood is so phony, it's unbelievable. Believe you me.
What annoys me in films like Saving Private Ryan, they had to slag off Monty, who was our biggest hero in the war. Theirs was Patton, ours was Monty, but they had to say, "Yeah, that guy's overrated," and all that in the film. It's like, shut up, will you? You weren't even in the war at the beginning. You just decided to join into it much later on.
Yeah, but you've got Patton was assassinated, by the way. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
He was assassinated. He was. He had all this gold and valuable paintings and everything else. And Patton said, "Well done, lads." He said, "We're all getting it back now to the." So he went, "Oh well, yeah," because they wanted some of it. The American soldiers. He was, and he ended up dead. Eddie Cotton says, "Even if Frank enjoying the chat about Ghost, I think Mo will ghost past a few City defenders on Saturday." I've just been watching them, him as well.
Who's he up against? Who's their left back nowadays? Bloody forgot.
He used to be that Cancelo, didn't he?
Cancelo, Zinchenko, they're both gone.
Yeah.
I can't for the life of me think who their left back is. I know Kyle Walker's the right back.
Yeah. I don't know whether he switched over to the left, to be honest.
Guardiola's been playing left back, and he's been playing like left centre back, left back, and Walker or Stones step into midfield.
We should have got him. We should have got Guardiola, to be honest. There's a Punjabi lad from the Midlands who's been in an Indian prison for years, and the British government are only now taking note because of the people online campaigning. Yeah.
When you say Punjabis, you mean he's like Pakistani or is he Indian?
Indian. Punjabis are Indian.
Punjabi Indian.
Yeah. I know Lisa Dad's called Homer, says Redbird. Hey, you stopped. Redbird, bad dad joke, says Keegan, mate. Redbird, Simpsons is a mad one. Hidden messages throughout, same as Back to the Future. Yeah, you're right there. You're so right. There are in. I just want to let's see. Norman says Manx have turned their backs on socialism. They are now a Tory city. BBC are based there. Money is going there. Shame they have short memories. Thank you, Norman. Yes, absolutely. But listen, I've got to get back to football. And even JK, he says exactly, Norman. Exactly. And Brian Edley, lads, I've changed my mind from Tuesday. McAllister seen him have a howler for Argentina, then the travel, early kickoff, and all that. Maybe Gapco instead of him. Okay, we'll be talking about that. I think he's lost confidence. I think Liverpool have. It's like anything. If it's like riding a bike. If you ride a bike and you're a good, bike rider, and all of a sudden you fall off, and then you're riding it again and you fall off again, it doesn't mean to say that you can't ride a bike. It's as simple as that. And that goes for McAllister. McAllister's a great player. He really is. And if Messi says he's a great player, then he is. And Messi, Suarez said about Nunes down, and he said he's a cracking player. He's brilliant, and so being praised for us all. To be honest, all our little lads who are over there doing the business. But anyway, I'm just going to get through these, and then I'm going to ask a question. Okay. Team victims for me is indicative of an intellectual one-trick pony. Me, I just ignore what's, after all, a totally unjustified slur. And that's about Liverpool, to be honest.
I just snapped this morning with that lad, Frank. I always ignore it from this guy, but it just went on so badly this morning that I thought, I've got to shut this guy up here.
But Charlie would say some fans just look for trouble. I totally agree, Charlie. They aren't interested in football. And I have missed the football chat, lads. Says Keegan, mate, we're really talking about. This is what we're going on about.
Rival fans.
We've got to be talking about. Before we start talking about team selections and things like that, what I want to talk about really, I'm just going to go through these comments because I'm going to try and get through as many as possible. I really am. And then we'll be talking about January. Redbird says, J.K. Kismet, we need the same wavelength. Too many people are asleep today, especially those who call themselves woke. They are brainwashed sheeple, in my opinion. Yes. Good comments coming up. I should have I should have a pod, you know, talking about social issues. I'd love that. I'd love that. Honest to God, I really would love to talk about social issues, what's going on in the world today, what's going on in this country today. I'd love all that. I'd love it. I really would. Lisa, oh, the lovely Lisa. I hope it's not a horror show on Saturday. I don't think it will be. I hope this is not another fella who's taken like his sister's or his daughter's name, you know, the social network. I've had a couple of them actually, including
Brian, isn't it? There's Brian and Norman.
Yeah, yeah. So let's say I hope it's not a horror show on Saturday. I don't think it will be. I think both Liverpool and Everton will beat the Manx this weekend. What's your team sheet for the Mighty Reds, Frank? Lisa, I'll be talking about that later on, sweetheart. So if you stay with us, you'll get Lee's selection. Even the lads on here and yourself, Lisa, you know, just throw your team. See, I don't do it right away. What it is, I ask who your back four is. You know, instead of saying, well, who's your team? And you've got to write all the team out and everything else. I just say, well, who's your there? And then we discuss the back four. And then I ask, who's your midfield? And then we discuss the midfield. So it gives you time then to think about who your forwards are. Do you see what I mean? So this is basically what I do. So, you know, if you're new to us, Lisa, and Lisa, you know, if you haven't subscribed, it's just to get the algorithm out there and press the like, please, you know, because there are people out there. I'd love you to just press the like. I know people, they press a like once and they think that's all right. I'm not saying like press it twice tonight because you can't, but, you know, just press the like. And every week or every time I'm on, you know, it'd be great if you tune in. Thank you. Right, let's say that again. What's your team sheet for the Mighty Reds? So we'll be going back to that, Lisa. So stay with us, please. Stay with us. The film and music industry is just a tool to influence the masses instead of being something that gives the people enjoyment. That's brilliant, though. That's absolutely brilliant. And if they don't like, everybody. Okay, I'll just say this once. The way the issues are today, world issues, especially, I'm going to say it, but I don't want any comments. Neocons and globalists, they're trying to change the world order. And this is why you're having what's going on today. We're in a very precarious situation politically, right? Globally, that is as well, globally. So what you've got is John Lennon. And I'm mentioning John Lennon simply because JK mentioned music, the music industry. Now, don't forget what he sang. Give peace a chance. Give peace a chance. And with Christmas coming up, he came out with I reckon, one of the greatest Christmas songs ever. One of the greatest.
Yeah, I like
Christmas. Yeah, I think it's brilliant.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I've got to say I don't really like Imagine because I've just heard it too many times, but
yeah.
really like War Is Over.
But you look at the message and imagine there's no religion and all that, you know.
Yeah, you know, a good one for the current state of affairs, isn't it?
Yes, Brian Edley. There's no film that will do all those brave men and women who served their countries justice. Absolutely spot on. Charlie Wood says, according to Hollywood, USA won the Vietnam War. Interestingly, John Wayne never served. He wouldn't serve. John Wayne wouldn't serve.
Well, it is strange that Hollywood took that view, seeing as how 20 million Russians died and only 500,000 Americans died. I mean, you can't really say America won the war, can you? In terms of death, which is really how you count the toll. I mean, the toll on America, they never got bombed or anything like everyone in Europe got bombed. They didn't lose 20 million people, most of them civilians, like the Russians did.
Yeah.
So a lot of their war films have they just don't ring true sometimes, the sentiments in them. If they'd just be a little bit more congratulatory to their allies rather than slagging them off in their films, it might look better in Hollywood.
Yeah. Oh, it always does, to be honest. You never see. You notice the likes of the. I don't want to be talking about films.
I know, yeah, we've done it again. Where did that one come from?
But I'll just say this. Alan Rickman, Jeremy Irons, Anthony Hopkins, 3 of our greatest actors ever. And they've always played villains because they have the English playing the villains. You know, there's Anthony Hopkins playing Hannibal Lecter. And in those Die Hard films, you had Alan Rickman, you know, playing a villain, you know, with a very funny voice, And Jeremy Irons the same. So, you know, they play the villains. You never get an American playing a villain. And I always remember American Psycho. And it was the very first time I'd actually seen this fella. I said, he's a good actor, then. I said, but he sounds British. And it was that Christian Bale, another Englishman, playing an American Psycho. They don't have the English, you know, all the time.
You know what I love Christian Bale in? Empire of the Sun.
Yeah, brilliant.
The story of J.G. Ballard. You know, J.G. Ballard, the writer, wrote stuff like Crash. And what else did he write, J.G.? The Drowned World is another good one. J.G. Ballard. Seeing all that death as a child obviously affected him, like, and made him come out with something weird.
I've got to get back to the football.
I know, yeah. Sorry.
It's J.K. Kismet's fault. Anyway, and Charlie Mudd. Paul Bear, good evening. Oh, let's just do City. Also, good luck to Francine and Southport tonight, says Paul Bear. Thank you so much, Paul. Thank you so much. And Stephen says, the American general's assassination followed a dubious pattern for him.
That's a good pun, don't he, Snapey?
Yeah, he does. Right. I'm going to go back to football. Hiya, Frank Lee. What do you both think it will be on Saturday? Okay. We'll be getting back to that, David. Stay with us. I agree, Frank, says Norman. McAllister, lack of confidence. Thank you. And I've always said that. I've said that for a few weeks now. And I'll explain why I think he's lost confidence. JK says if McAllister came in for the big bucks, say 70 million or so, then we could moan. But I have no expectation for him. Let him settle and get back to his game in his own time. Great comment. That's a wonderful, wonderful comment, JK. And Norman says the lad at Leeds, Archie Gray, is who we are being linked with. Eddie Gray's lad. Yeah, we've been linked with him before, to be honest. We've been linked with him. The odd thing about a team selection is what shape the boys have come back in. In Klopp, we trust. Yeah, of course. And that's Paul Bear. Of course, it's what shape we are. Press the like, real Liverpool folk talking real talk. You never walk alone, says JK. Kismet, thank you, JK. I really appreciate that, but no one seems to press the like, unfortunately. While everyone's revealing their true identity, I'm Stephanie, says Stephen Snape. Well, only at the weekends. I'm 64, so I'm running into I'm running to rival RuPaul. And bang on flank, says JK. And yeah, it's Snapey. Look, I said to him, we won't be talking. I love this. Alisson, Virgil, Canete, Trent, Samikas, Szoboszlai, Gravenberch, Jones, Salah, Nunes, Diaz. I was commenting last night on something. It wasn't football or anything. And I said, can anybody spell... It was a joke. I said, can anybody spell chrysanthemum for me? I spelled it right, like, by the way. And anyway, a thing came up, a little, at me, at Frank Carlyle. And it said, I think you've spelled it right. I think you spelled it right. Anyway, he got back and said, oh my God, thanks. Until he got back to me and said, no problem.
No sweat.
No sweat, exactly. Herbert Lom's brother, I love this. Herbert Lom's brother. Evening, it looks like everyone has come back okay. All in training today, especially as we're going into the human jungle. I love it. That's a great series, that. That's a great series. Phil Lom's brother. I love it. Noah says, hey Frank, Christmas my bum, sang by Ricky Tomlinson, wasn't bad.
I love Ricky. I think Ricky's hilarious.
And he's a friend of mine,
Ah, nice one. Glad to hear that.
He said to me, I forget who it was, and he called me over. And I went to him. This was when my hair was all like out. Know what I mean? And he said, Frank, here a minute. Sitting in a cafe. And I went over and said, all right, Ricky, how are you? And he said, listen, he said, would you sit down a minute? I said, yeah, go on. He said, how would you like, he said, I'm doing a play. He said, or it's either a film, a play, a TV play, or I've been asked, do you want to do it as a comedy series? That runs on. And I said, what is it? And he said, it's about three fellas, Tom, Dick, and Harry. He said, they're the names in it. Tom and a fella named Richard, but they call him Dickie, Dick. And Harry, another good fella. He said, but he said, the likes of Harry, he said, is a mad professor. He said, and I want you to play the mad professor. And he ruffled my hair and just went all over the place. He said, would you do it? I said, I'd have to think about that, Ricky. I said, me acting? And he said, yeah. He said, would you play him? I said, yeah, that's it. Nothing came of it.
Didn't Ricky just take up acting from nowhere at some point? Yeah? He wasn't an actor, was he? He didn't act in school or none of that, did he?
Do you know what he said to me? And two fellas have said this. When they came to see me, you've never seen me give a talk, have you? And both of them, Ricky and Nicky Holt. You know, have you heard of Nicky Holt?
Yeah.
Well, both of them said, they know each other, but they said it separately, by the way, and that I had a presence on stage. That's why Ricky wanted me for this thing. And also, I did one of Nicky's plays, and it was played at the Empire, so it appeared on the Empire in one of Nicky Holt's plays.
Oh, nice one.
You didn't know that, did you? JK says, the main actor in Sopranos, who I share a birthday with, started doing war vets documentaries after Sopranos, and he is no longer with us. Dodgy. Yeah, you're right there, because that was James Gandolfini. I like James Gandolfini. And
Very
he
good.
died in his hometown, or as you know, where his parents came from, and that was Napoli. And yeah, and he got to know all the actual gangsters when he was doing The Sopranos, and they all loved him. But then
He was very
again,
convincing, wasn't he, as Tony Soprano? He did the part so well, didn't he? Both parts of
unbelievable,
the role, you know, being the gangster and the father, husband, father,
unbelievable,
husband.
unbelievable. And you didn't mess with him, though, did you?
No
You
way,
didn't
no.
mess with him.
Big man.
Right, Keegan, JK, stop commenting about the movies, man. They don't need encouragement. Says Keegan, mate. And JK replies, Frank should have been in The Sopranos. Yeah. Oh, this is great. Do you know what? I'll have to get back to the. I'm just going to go through these. I'm sorry about this. The first bullet that killed Kennedy came from the front seat passenger in the car he was in, says Brian Everly. Yes. The CIA murdered him because LBJ wanted him out the way. The war hawks, who, you know, are in full demand today, going back even then, wanted a war because he was going to pull them out of Vietnam. The Bay of Pigs and everything. He didn't want any of that. He just wanted peace all around the world, Kennedy. But the war hawks, they wanted war because they made a hell of a lot of money. And this is what's going on today. And I call Ukraine the biggest washing machine on the planet, where it launders lots and lots of billions of money, dollars, you name it, it launders it.
It's irreplaceable, isn't
Including
it?
the euro, including the
Yeah.
euro. I'm not going into that now. If you ever want a podcast about these social issues, let me know. Let me know, and I'll do one. Charlie Wood, McAllister will be good with a new number 6. Yes, Charlie, totally agree. Brian, fancy hanging out, Steph? I don't know where that's come from. Yeah. I think if Nunes plays down the left, says Brian Adley, Jota will have to play in the middle, lads. Then let Diaz run at the Norman says, Frank, I would love to see you give a speech sometime. I watched one from 13 years ago. You did brilliant, says Norman. Oh, thank you. Yeah. And Lisa says, is Jimmy McGovern a friend of yours as well, Frank? He's a massive red and a great man, yes. Been the match with him and everything, is Jimmy.
Forgot about Jimmy. It's been a long time since I've heard his name already.
He's great, McGovern. He's
Yeah,
really
he did the Hillsborough thing, didn't he?
Well, I said, sir, I said, hey, Jimmy, I said, and I mentioned about this certain man, a Liverpool lad, and it's a fantastic story. And he said, yeah, tell me all about him. So he said to her, I said, will you do a play about him? And he went, no, you do it. So I've written a play about this fella, and I was going to be put on at St. George's Hall in the concert room. And unfortunately, when we were about to, it was going on in the June, and COVID hit us, lockdown. And who was going to star and direct, and it was my old mate, Jake Abraham. Boris Johnson has a lot to answer for that now. So yes, Lisa, he's a friend of mine. I think Gapco should be in midfield with Szoboszlai and Gravenberch. Gapco was a midfielder before we bought him.
these three should start games and solidify our midfield, says Brian McMahon. My professor, so no acting required then, says Charlie Wood. All right, Charlie.
Frank, you're an unhinged academic.
Love's brother. Do you know what Tom, Dick, and Harry was in a major film? Harry was a major film in the 60s. No, I didn't know.
Oh no.
I didn't know. Norman says, I'm obsessed with JFK death. Just been reading about Oswald. To be honest, Norman, I've done so much on that. I've done so much myself.
It's endless, isn't it? You can spend all day with the Kennedy stuff, can't you? Like watching all different stuff. It's one of them subjects.
Well, that's why, Lee, I gave a lecture about, it was a cracking lecture at Billinge about Jack the Ripper.
Mm-hmm.
Was it Jack the Ripper? No. The gunpowder plot. It was the gunpowder plot. And I said, they said, will you come back and do that Jack the Ripper for us? He said, yeah. Now, why they won't, and this is true, why they won't reveal who the Ripper was, because it harms the economy, because there won't be any books written, there won't be any documentaries said, there won't be anything like that if they know the culprit. It's like the Yorkshire Ripper. How much has been said about the Yorkshire Ripper? Not much. Not compared to Jack the Ripper. Do you understand where I'm coming from?
Definitely,
no books are hardly written about him, because you know about him.
Yeah.
You know who it is.
Yeah.
See what I mean? So this is what you've got to think of all the time about the economy, believe it or not. All right, Frank, where can we press your City on Saturday? On the pitch, Daz. Good evening, Daz. Hope you're well, mate. We're going to be talking about this. And Norman says, back to footy, what do people think we do regards coping with Doku, Gomez or Trent? And who's best of Walker, Diaz or Nunes on the left front three? Okay, I think there's just a couple more. I'm not quite so sure. Yeah, I'm just going to go through these three. So, through these three. They were the names of the tunnels in The Great Escape, Tom, Dick and Harry. Oh, yeah, you're right there. Tom, Dick and Harry, yeah.
Good one.
Read a book called The Kennedy Curse. They have the incredible arty in that family series. Norman, yes. The corpulent albino moron Boris Johnson will never answer for his mistakes. He's as slippery as an eel and as elusive as the Scarlet Pimpernel. He ought to be. He's had so much practice. Right. Here's the thing. They're all going on about teams and everything else. Now, I'm going to ask Lee. Lee. You know what? Now don't forget these lads have not most of them, but the lads have come back from thousands of miles in journey, thousands, from South America. Who do you have in goal?
Well, for me, it's got to be Alisson, because with him being a keeper, he's done it before, and I don't think it's the same for keepers because they're not running round. I definitely wouldn't play McAllister on the Wolves evidence of playing him. The Wolves evidence, his legs just went after about 20 minutes and he could hardly run, the poor lad. And for that role, the number 6 role, you need to be able to run. And Nunes is the one that I hope can start out of the 3.
Okay, no. Lee, hang on, please.
Oh, sorry.
Please. Okay, so you picked your goalkeeper, because I want these to pick, You don't know about jet lag. That's what I'm saying. And I want the comments. Who would you have in goal? Personally, I'd have Alien, but other people might want Kellerton because he hasn't been anywhere. Okay, so who would you two centre backs be? Two centre backs, not your left or your right. Who would your two centre backs be?
Matip and Van Dijk, because I think Matip earned it with the Brentford performance.
Okay, all right. Okay, well, okay. Who would you have on the right?
What, of defence? Right back?
Yeah, this is your back four, yeah.
Yeah, Trent.
And on the left?
Costas.
Tsimikas.
Yeah.
Okay.
But there is a caveat with Trent. If we go in front, I would like to see him replaced with Gomez then. Maybe if we're in front with, I don't know, half an hour to go, something like that, I'd like to see Gomez then.
Okay. We'll be discussing these why as well. It's not just saying we'll have Alisson in goal, or whatever. We'll discuss why. We'll discuss why Trent will be on the right. We'll discuss why you want Tsimikas on the left. We'll discuss why you want Matip alongside the Veg. So, okay. Norman says, just an opinion because Silva plays on the right wing and cuts in and is natural left foot. Should we play Gomez at left back? That's a very good point. Excellent point. Brian Edley, they all have private jets now, lads. Massages on board, massages on board, and all. They can be fine. Ali's time will come for sure in January, I hope. Okay. Lisa, the lovely Lisa says, Kanate, Van Dijk, Trent, Costas, says Lisa. Okay. Well, as I said, we'll be discussing that, Lisa. Right after this. Don't be giving me your midfield yet, please. I won't read it out. We want to discuss why we're going to pick a back four. And I'll pick mine as well, by the way. Same as Lee, Alisson in goal because of a goalkeeper's lack of physical excursion in his position, says Stevens. Daz. Alisson in goal, Matip, Virgil, Trent, Costas. Ends. Okay. Ends. Still Enzo. Can't see that. Norman says Benitez played Arbeloa at left back against Messi and stopped him doing similar thing to Silva. Says.
Good point.
Oh, very good point. Soulboy says if he plays Trent, he's gonna need protection because of that flying winger Doku. Wow. And Daz says Alisson, Trent, Matip, VVD, Gomez. Okay. Alisson, Trent, Matip, Virgil, Gomez, says JK. Ali, Karate, Verge, Matip, Gomez, says Brian Heavily. Karate, Verge, Matip, Gomez. No Trent there. Have you noticed? All right, so why would you play Trent at right back?
I'd be playing him at right back. I wouldn't be having this inverted thing away to City. He's got to play the position against Doku. I think if he comes inside all the time, Doku will be in. So I think we know that. Klopp knows that. Playing Matip over Kanate, I think with City, it's more like they don't kill you with pace. It's more like death by 1,000 cuts. When City are all over you, it's not as fast as some other teams. They have got fast players, but I think that's why Matip instead of Canate for me. I think Matip did enough versus Brentford to get in again.
Okay. And why Kostas, Samikas at left back?
You've got to have a left footer. You've got to have a left. It showed at Luton. I think if we'd have played Costas at Luton, we'd have probably won. It would have given us that extra little bit down the left that we didn't have.
Do you think, Lee, that Kostas, he has one bad game, didn't he? And then his last game against Brentford, he's been playing well since. And his last game against Brentford, when we were winning 1-0, we needed goals to shut them out and keep them quiet. And yet he gave 2 assists. And in my opinion, that goes unnoticed. What do you think? Do you think he's being ridiculed enough and, he should be in that side? Not just only for his 2 assists, but he can bomb down the left and get back as well.
Yeah, I thought he defended well against Brentford. He stuck to his guns, stuck to his task well against Brentford and stopped them. He gave a few corners away, stopping them. But, you've got to stop forwards. You can't just let them get to the line and cross it. You need to put it out for the corner sometimes. And he did that quite a few times.
Well, Norman says if we do play Trent at right back, he will need an Endo type to cover him. Now, this is where the midfield comes into it, but don't mention midfield yet. Please, people, please don't. And Norman says, I agree with you there, Lee. Brian Edley says, Trent or Gravenberch is number 6. Okay, be going back to that. Now, before I go on to this, why do you reckon you pick Matip over Konate?
Well, I usually go for Canate every week when people ask. I say Canate and BBD, Canate and BBD. But
that's what I'm saying. That's why I've asked you.
Ibu's been injured. Matip played really well against Brentford, and it can be different. City are a bit different now with Haaland and Doku, but in the past he didn't have that much pace up front. You'd be looking at Gabriel Jesus, Silva, Grealish. Who was the other ones? Do you know what I mean? It was more like death by 1,000 cuts, wasn't it? When City were all over you, it wasn't just bang. But now it's changed a little bit. But even with that being said, I'd still prefer to see Matip start the game because he hasn't been injured. He played well in the last game. Virgil's very used to playing with him. And yeah, that's my idea on the centre-back partnership.
But Charlie Wood says Konate is carrying an injury, so that could rule him out. It could rule him out. Don't forget the game's less than 48 hours. Jazz Reynolds says we need cover for over Haaland. He's a dangerous player, him. But so is Armo. Cheers, Charlie. I thought he was over it, says Brian Edley. Norman says, I suppose what we are all saying really is, do we pick our side to stop City's strengths or pick a side that says we are going for it? Very good point. Stephen Snape, for me, Trent's ability to link with Salah on the right side and combining with Darwin could prove fruitful, giving Trent cover to help out with Doku is given whichever midfielders carry out the role. Excellent point. Excellent point. Everyone's going for my back four. I picked, says Daryl Merry. And my back four, says Norman, Trent, Virgil, Konate, Gomez. See the different types of opinions, Lee. And Brian says, isn't it brilliant that we now have a squad and bench that is as good, if not better, than City's? Yeah, it far better than last season. We should have had this last season, never mind, to be honest. We need to cover Haaland and Grealish, says Daz. Okay, Lee. I'm sorry you're the only one in, mate. Sorry. Who is your, we picked the back four.
Mm.
We picked the back four. But in my opinion, if Konate isn't injured, I'm going to pick Konate over Matip.
Yeah.
But, Samikas on the left and, Trent on the right. That's who
I just wanted to change this week, Frank, so I thought I'd say Matip instead of Konate, because I always say Konate.
Yeah, I fully understand that. But I think Konate, he's got more pace.
Yeah, he's got all the pace, hasn't he?
He has. He's got more pace than Matip, believe it or not, albeit Matip's a tall lad. And I think I call Matip a threepenny bit head. He's got a head like a threepenny bit. Because he's had some free headers in that box and not far out either.
Yeah.
In the 6-yard box, and they've gone wide, they've gone over the bar and everything. He scored some goals, but he's missed more. Like Darwin, to be honest. Okay, your midfield. And before you start, Gomez at left back purely to stop Silva cutting in, says Norman. And if it's too much for young the Quanshu lads, hope Doug is fit. Is it too much for the young? Yeah, Quansha, definitely. Quansha is going to be a regular at Liverpool Football Club. He's going to be like Virgil is now. And to be honest, it's too much for him now.
I wouldn't want to see him thrown into this game, Frank, unless we were desperate, you know what I mean? Because it could be tough on the lad, like if he got City's attack.
Throwing in the deep end.
Yeah.
But he is brilliant. He's the best potential youngster I've seen. I think he's absolutely wonderful. I really do. And I'd say next season he's in there. But, he'll be playing again this season, in some certain matches.
He will be playing on Thursday, I'd imagine, Frank. He'd be playing next Thursday, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I agree.
With whichever centre-half doesn't partner Virgil on Saturday.
Yeah. All right, then. So, Matip scores a good one against us, says Charlie Wood. Matip scores a good one against us. I don't know. I don't know what he means by that. Matip scored a good one against us. Do you know what he's on about there?
The own goal?
Yeah.
Was it the own goal?
Yeah, he scored a cracker for Bayern as well.
Yeah.
3-1. That was a cracker, that. And he blames everybody else. Sorry there, yeah, you're right there. Good man. Stephen says, Matip's plays well recently. Konate susceptible to giving soft fouls away. He can be clumsy in the challenge, says Stephen Snape, which is a very good point. So, go ahead. Who's your midfield?
Midfield, Enzo, Gravenberch and Szoboszlai, without a doubt. I say Enzo because I think he's coming from Syria. He was in Syria the other day playing for Japan. Not as far as South America. McAllister, for the reasons I said, playing at 12:30 on Wednesday morning. And I don't like McAllister in the 6 anyway. I'd rather see Enzo after the Brentford game where we kept a clean sheet. I'd like to see Endo playing with the other 10 best outfield players that Jurgen wants to use, instead of seeing him playing with Elliott and Quansah and Gomez and bloody Doak. You know what I mean? I'd rather see him with the best players, the rest of the good players, with Virgil, whoever, Trent, Simi,
Yeah,
Sobo.
you've got to have our best 11 out there, and you've got to have at least 3 of our best on the bench, because we'll be talking about that as well a little bit later. So that's your
yeah. Endo, Gravenberch left midfield, Szoboszlai right midfield, without a shadow.
Okay, so why Gravenberch?
Because he's got more legs than say we were to play McAllister in the 8 or something in that game. Gravenberch has got more legs. I think he's more dangerous as well going forward. He's more dangerous than Jones. Although Jones can be dangerous, but he can get back and tackle as well, Gravenberch, the way Szoboszlai can. He's got as much pace probably as Szoboszlai. The pair of them as 8s have pace. They can both challenge players. They're both physical, strong lads, in a way that McAllister and Jones aren't really. McAllister and Jones are skillful, but for this City match, I'd like to see that. I'd like to see a very industrious, hard-working, leggy midfield.
Okay, that's very good. Okay, surprised me there. Norman says, I'm going for Szoboszlai, Endo, Gravenberch. Just the same as what Lee's said as well. And Daryl says the same. But McAllister, Szoboszlai, Gakpo, totally different from what Lee said, who Norman agreed with. I'm going Szoboszlai, Endo, and Gravenberch. So Daryl says McAllister, Szoboszlai, Gakpo. Stephen says Szoboszlai, Gravenberch, Jones. Possibly Endo might solidify us slightly better. So, he's not 100% because he says slightly better, might solidify slightly better. I wouldn't trust, being honest with you here, I wouldn't trust Endo in that side.
Yeah, not many would. I've been looking at all, not just the live streams, but the comments, on non-live streams about Liverpool, and nobody's really feeling or fancying Endo. I'm still reserving judgment on him, but I'd like to see him nonetheless versus City.
No, okay. See, I think he'd be in danger of getting sent off in the first half, because he gets right into players, and he was very lucky against Brentford. The way what I mean is the way VAR is at the moment. Now, don't forget VAR at City, the referee at City, and if he goes in, he could just get a straight red. Remember when Mane got sent off? We were playing all right until
I do, yeah.
And we got stuffed. Stuffed us. So therefore, I'd be reluctant to play Endo. I'd be reluctant. But I want to get back to McAllister. And I think McAllister, because he's been playing number 6, and he really hasn't got the pace, I think he's lost a lot of confidence, that lad. I really believe that. He's a great player, by the way. He is a great player. So Soulboy says, I think midfield goes with Szoboszlai, McAllister and Jones. He won't trust Endo. And Brian Headley, Szoboszlai, Gravenberch, and I think Curtis will be chomping at the bit. Yep. Okay. Norman, I don't think Gravenberch
went on international duty, so that gives him a little bit of a spring in the legs, if you like. Daz says Enzo, Ryan, Dom. So he's got like Enzo, Gravenberch and Szoboszlai as well, says Daz. Just a quick question, Frank and Lee. Has there ever been a better midfield in British football than Case, Souness, Kennedy and McDermott? I just can't see how. Sorry, Norman. I'm sorry to call you that. I just can't see how you better that. No.
But to quickly answer that, there hasn't been, because look what they won. No other midfielders won that in British football history.
No. Absolutely. Terry McDermott was one of the greatest midfielders ever and scored loads of goals. And not only scoring loads of goals, he scored fantastic goals. He scored the best club goal I've ever seen in my entire life, and I'm not being biased. And that was the header against Spurs, the 7th goal. And
well,
he came in the first 3, actually. He got the second one was also against Spurs, down at White Hart Lane. I was there when the ball came to him, chested it, tied it, volleyed it, and he was at a terrible angle on the right. It was one of the best goals I've ever seen. You'll never see another goal like it.
To see how good a midfield is, you've got to see it up against Europe's best, not just Britain's best. So,
and they did it.
Midfield there. What's the other one that's had the most success in Europe? Nottingham Forest. So who was their midfield? McGovern.
I'm not bothered about them. Not interested.
You see where I'm coming from, though, Frank?
No, I understand that. I'm talking about Liverpool because
I know. I'm saying now in British football.
Those horrible fans, don't forget what they were singing just a few weeks ago.
I know.
I'm sorry, Lee, but I understand what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying, though?
Yeah, but Liverpool, that midfield, that Liverpool, what Norman's just, was it Norman? Just said, fantastic. Just fantastic. No one could beat that. And they more or less won 3 European Cups. That same midfield. Anyway, Lisa Sims says, I go for the same midfield as you, Lee, and bring either McAllister, Elliott or Jones on, depending how it's going. Good shout, that, Lisa. Very good shout. Snapey says, Gravenberch has a terrific engine. His mobility is the equal of Szoboszlai. That's a very good and this is what I think Jazz has, agreed with you there, because we need pace in midfield, and we certainly do. We need legs. JK says, I'm going with Grav, McAllister, Szoboszlai. That's JK there. Hopefully Mac can take his win against Brazil into the game. And Norman says the goal he scored in the cup at Spurs. Yes, absolutely. I was there for that. That was an incredible goal. That's Terry Mack's. Terry Mack's goal against Everton in the FA Cup. That was my 3rd one. The top 3 with those 3 by Terry McDermott. Unbelievable goals. I was right behind that goal at White Hart Lane, says Soulboy. And Arrow in the top corner. Yes, we were all there. Incredible goal. Loved every minute of it. And remember the Kennedy goal, that baseball ground where he went around the keeper. What a classy player, says Norman. Great player. All right, so we've got midfield. I'd have Curtis Jones playing at number 6. That's who I'd have. Alongside Gravenberch and Szoboszlai. That's who I'd have. What do you think of that midfield?
Yeah, that could do it. I mean, for me, I want Enzo to play the 6, but if he doesn't, I prefer McAllister to be the choice. I don't see Jonesy as that good a tackler. neither's McAllister, but McAllister knows the role a bit better, whereas Curtis has always been an attacking midfielder, if not like a number. He even has played number 10 and that when he was younger, didn't he? Like, or on the wing. He's an attacking midfielder. He has very little defensive capabilities at present. He's only young as well, so he can play there. I just don't fancy him against City in that role. I could see him getting found out, probably worse than Endo, because at least Endo's stock in trade is to tackle. But it's a game of opinions, isn't it? Like, so we've all got them.
I'm going to get some paint for my glasses to wipe them. So I want you to carry on. I'm going to give you 2 comments here, right? And carry on with the comments. And I say, and Norman says, I never understood critics of Curtis. He has an abundance of talent. And I think that'll carry on. But I hope what you're going to talk about. No way Endo plays in this game or we lose. Now that's what he says. Will you just answer those comments, please?
Yeah.
Because I really need to do my glasses. Cheers.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Lee.
Yeah, I'm a massive fan of Curtis. Like, he's a big favourite of mine, and he's got plenty of brilliant attributes. But I just worry about him playing that 6. It's just a big concern at the moment for the City game that we don't seem to have anyone that, we can not be worried about playing there. I'll be worried if McAllister plays there. I'll be worried if Endo plays there. I'll be worried if Jones plays there. And they're the only options we've got. But I wouldn't go that far to say if Endo plays, we defo lose. But I can see where you're coming from, like. I don't really know. Like, what I would say is, like, if Endo started and McAllister didn't, I'd want to see McAllister come on then. Maybe if, like, we were winning, like the way I said, I'd like to see Gomez come on for Trent if we were winning. Say we started with Trent and got in the lead, and started with Endo and got in the lead, then I'd like to see, obviously, McAllister and Gomez coming in later in the game. Maybe we could play 2 number 6s if we were winning. Do you know what I mean? Like, just go a bit more defensive. But Klopp doesn't really play like that, though. Even if we're winning, he still wants to score more, doesn't he? Like, that's usually how he rolls. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, it is going to be interesting to see who he picks. I just don't fancy Jonesy in that role, and I'm not being disrespectful. I'm a big fan of the lad, and he's got an abundance of talent, and he's local. But I just don't like him in that role. I just don't think he's got what we need for it. Like, but he can play there. So if we're desperate and we think Endo's a no-go and McAllister's too tired, then yeah, why not? He can play there.
No, I'd like to see him play there.
Mm-hmm.
I really would. I'd love to see him play there, Jonesy. And as I think Brian Elliott says, he's chomping at the bit.
Mm.
He'd love to play against them.
Mm.
He would love to play against them. Okay. Let's see. Norman says, I do think Lee, Curtis would be better coming off the bench Saturday if we need a goal. Okay. Snapey says, another reason for Enzo's inclusion is he's the captain of Japan. He's used to a pressure cooker environment, which for me adds to the reason for him playing against City. It's a good point. It really is a good point, but this is a type of... I understand, Stephen, about a pressure cooker, being Japan's He's loved in Japan, and he was loved in Germany, by the way. But this is a different kind of pressure, believe it or not. This is Manchester City at the Etihad. And as I said, I mentioned before, he does go in rash at players. He really does. He really goes in rash, and I can imagine him going in very rash. And you've got to take into consideration this bloody VAR thing and the referee. You've got to take those into consideration. Any rashness. Like, look at Virgil when he got sent off. To me, that wasn't a sending off. He actually played the ball as well. People forget that. He actually got the ball away, and he got sent off. So he's like this. He's like this, unfortunately. So that's me. You know, that's my opinion on Endo. I just seen him against Brentford, and he was a little rash, and he was very lucky to be not to be sent off. Very lucky. Soulboy says this is the type of game where we need to avoid early yellows, and I think that beggars, I think that clarifies what I've just said, Soulboy, about Endo. He'll just go straight in, bang.
I do get the feeling though that Klopp would talk to Enzo if he was to start him on Saturday and say, "Be careful early doors. You can't be picking up a yellow early. Make sure you're there covering, but don't be sliding in too madly."
Do you know what? I fully understand that, but that'll take away the impetus of his game because he's like what you call a hard tackler.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. Yeah. And I'm scared of this referee. I really am.
Who is he? Who's the ref? Hooper? Hooper or someone?
Yeah, he's horrible.
Yeah, I remember him. Yeah, Hooper. Yeah.
He's horrible, honestly. But that's me. That's me. You know, I'd just like to see Gravenberch, Szoboszlai and Curtis. Curtis has the number 6, in all honesty. So, Lee, who's your three forwards?
Nunes, Jota and Salah.
Nunes, Jota and Salah. Okay. Why Jota? We won't talk about Mo. We'll just talk about Jota. Why Jota?
Well, because of the pace of Nunes and Salah, there is something different. Diaz and Gakpo are also pacey if they were to play on the left, because they can all play on the left. But Nunes and Jota can alternate between the left and the centre. And yeah, just because he brings something different, he's got a different skill set to the others, which isn't built around pace. It's built around trickery, movement, anticipation, finishing. And yeah, I'd like to see that.
Okay. Right, okay. And Nunes, you know, he's got to be picked. He's been playing absolutely brilliant. And I think he will score against them. I really think he will score against them. I predict that. Nunes to be on the score sheet. But we won't talk about predictions yet. So, Nunes, Salah, and Jota, you said. I'd have Diaz. I'd have Diaz instead of Jota. I'd like Jota to come off the bench. Because once they tire, Jota is there. Jota he's our natural goal scorer, believe it or not. I think he's absolutely brilliant. He just give him a chance, give him the shape of the goal, the whites of the goal, and he'll have a go. He will have a go. That goal he scored against Brentford was stupendous. It really was. He knew he arrowed it in the corner. It was a cracking goal. Absolute beauty. So I'd have him there along with Nunes and Salah. I mean, not Jota, Diaz, that is. You know, because Diaz, we've got to have pace. And Diaz is so quick, so tricky. I always remember someone saying, Diaz is great, you know, going forwards and just bum, 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 you know, going there and, you know, he's so quick in it, but there's no end product. Always remember that. Never forget that comment. All right, let's see what our lads are saying. Right. Darryl says, up front, Salah, Nunes, Diaz. Brian says, lads, I would give Trent a crack at number 6. Good point. He has the speed to keep going across the pitch, side to side. That's a good comment, actually. Thank you. That really is. Yeah, Cavani is the ref, by the way. Redbeard, I don't know if I already told you, Frank, but the ref's brother is a City season ticket holder. There you have it, Lee.
Yeah.
And as Brian says, he confirms, is it not Cavani the ref? Yes. Yes. And he's, Brian says, Salah, Nunes, Scott. And Scott. Scott? Scotty? Is he taking a piss or what? Scott? You all right, Lee?
Yeah. Got a bit of water in my eyes, like.
Oh, I thought you were crying, you know. When Mark Simons, it's a shame we don't play Gravenberch in the 6 because he has all the attributes to control from deep like Ginny used to do, only faster and more of a unit. Then we can push Maka and Szoboszlai more advanced. Yes. Yeah, it's been said. I'll be coming back to that. I really will. Please believe me, I'll be coming back to a number 6 right after what the lads have said here. Wasn't Hooper the ref at the Spurs game, says Redbeard. Yep. Brian Headley, Salah, Nunes and the Slaughter lads. Slaughter. Shot of the Slaughter. The men in form for me, Diaz, Nunes, Salah, all scored in the international stage, Solboy. And these are brilliant comments. They really are. No, Darren. England was ref versus Spurs. Yeah, terrible, Mary. Mo, Darwin, Diaz. Let's go and give it to them. Cheating bastards. I have to say. She's a lazy, you know, she says, cheating big / ads, _ ads, everything she's called. Thank you, Lisa. You're forgiven. You're forgiven. The only reason I will play Diaz is because of his speed on the counter-attack along with Darwin and Salah. JK, thank you, JK. That's my thoughts entirely. And Snapey says, Jota's a decent shout. If ever a defence can be got at by a goal poacher, then it's Man City's. They are porous at the back, as has been proven. But Diogo is difficult to knock off the ball.
Frank, can you just give us a second, Frank? What it is? I've knocked one of my contact lenses out because I do.
Oh, go on. Yeah, no, honestly, go ahead.
What I'm going to do, right, is take the other one out and just put my glasses on. That's why I'm blinking and I get like watery eyes off them sometimes. I've knocked one out. Be back in a sec.
All right, no problem. No problem. George Scott, yes, George Scott. Harry's not here tonight. He'd love that if he's tuning in. He would love that, Brian. George Scott on the left. And as Brian says, love it, Lisa.
Reading the Echo, FSG have plans to develop properties around the Anfield as they are doing in Boston. This is where the money makers let our team down by not being fully committed to the team. Shame, says Brian McMahon. I said a few weeks ago, and he came out and actually said it, FSG, there'll be no money for January transfers. That's what they said, because of the stand not being finished until next season. I thought that was a bad excuse. I really did. I really believed it. So I said, looks like we'll be getting nobody in January. Now, with it being on the 17th, the opening of the stand, and people, you know, are saying, oh, we're going to buy this, we're going to buy that. There's the Andre transfer thing being scuppered. And do we need, I really believe we need a number 6. I really believe that. You know, whether Gravenberg can fit into that role, that'll be fine. But we also need a centre-back, a left-sided centre-back. We desperately need that. And again, you've got to look at, you know, people are saying about Batatic. Now, Batatic has been out for months. And this is my point with Batatic. Great young prospect, great, it really is. But my point is, could we win trophies with the lad? He's been out for months. And to me, he's injury prone. I think he'll end up like Thiago, in all honesty. I really do. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. You know, albeit that he's a kid. You know,
No, fair enough. I've noticed that, Frank, when we've talked about the lad, and as much as I like him, his age is too tender to be playing that 6, isn't it?
Yeah,
if we're not buying Andre because of him, does that mean that if nobody's convinced by Endo and we're not buying Andre because we don't want to block Bajcetic, does that mean they see Bajcetic as our de facto number 6 now going forward, even next season? I mean, you've got to wonder what the plan is, haven't you, in that position?
Yeah. No, you're right. Batatic, see, we all love Thiago. We all love Thiago. And even people are saying now he's back in training, we can play him, you know, at number 6. He's not match fit. He's had 30 minutes since last February. 30 minutes. Think about that. Think about that. He's been on the physio's table since then. And then doing little workouts. Been in hospital and everything. So you've got to take that into consideration. And if he's up against a pacey forward line, you know, it's all right passing, you know, standing there passing. Jan Molby was great at that. Jan Molby used to just stand in the centre circle and used to pass it everywhere. Then we had other midfielders, the likes of Steven Gerrard, who was all over the place. He was so mobile. Xabi Alonso was also mobile, but he just stood in the circle as well. But he could score from the centre circle. So, you know, we've had great, you know, we just mentioned Terry McTernan, Graham Souness, you know, the Lee Kennedy, those lads, absolutely. Jimmy Case, absolutely. Fantastic players. Fantastic when you think about it. But today, how can I put this? Didier Mann was a great defensive midfielder. He was unbelievable. Then, when he went, who did we bring in? We brought in Javier Mascherano. Unbelievable player. Unbelievable. Because we do need a DM
We really do. We really need a DM to protect not only the back four, but also the midfield. Mascherano was unbelievable. Did a man? And I don't think that we've had a number 6 really. You know, we've gone through the motions. We had then Ginny Wijnaldum came as a DM, absolutely brilliant, absolutely. But we haven't replaced him. That's my opinion. We brought in Enzo. I think Enzo was a panic buy. I really do. He was a panic buy. And you know, there's a lot of fans who are not like, you know. In other words, you know, there's an old cliche, isn't it? The jury's still out. And that he's still out with me, with Enzo. And I would not play him on Saturday morning against Manchester City because I think he's too reckless. I really do. And we need 11 players to finish the game. And as Soulboy France said, we need to keep away from the yellow cards early on. And that's a must. That is a must. So therefore, you know, for us to get a result, I just want a result. To get a result, we need to finish with 11 men. That's why I'd like to play Curtis Jones. Albeit Curtis Jones has been sent off. Unfairly, by the way. Unfairly. Curtis. So I'd like to play him. I'd like to play Gravenberch. I'd like to play Szoboszlai.
Do you know what? That's when I said, "Oh, I remember him, Hooper." I forgot it. He's the one from Spurs, isn't he? That's what someone just said a few comments ago. Hooper's the ref from Spurs. Great.
Yeah, let's see what the.
Which do we need us?
Let's see what JK says. What do you think with the land behind the main stands? I think the main stand. They're going to build a hotel. That's what I've been told. They're building a hotel. And they're also building another hotel, I think, in Priory Road. On Priory Road, I think they're going to build another one there. Whether they do or not, I don't know. I don't know. But if they're going to do anything with the Kenny Dalglish stand, because if you look at the Kop and you stand on the roof, if you're going over to the Kenny Dalglish stand, you have to step up. So, like, you know, it's like steps. You go along the Kop, you step up to go along the Kenny Dalglish. And when you get to the Annie Road stand, you've got to step up again. And then if you walk along the Annie Road stand and you come to the main stand, the biggie, the new stand, you've got to step up again. So they're like steps. To me, you've got to bring up the Kop. You've got to hire the Kop. They have to. They have to hire the Kenny Dalglish stand. Not that high, but they have to hire it, you know, to get it all level. What do you think, Lee?
Well, I don't really know about that. That land at the back. It's been that long since I've been around the grounds. I've not been around the grounds. I've not been to Anfield since the main stand was built. So I don't actually know what land is there, to be honest. Is it much land, is it?
Well, yeah, I think they're going to build a hotel. That's what I do know.
Okay.
That's what I do know. That's what, you know, if you think about it.
Well, that's a good idea.
But if they're going to build, say like they're going to bring out the Kenny Dalglish stand, you know, they bring it out and then they build up. What they'd have to get rid of is Skerries Road. Skerries Road, all that road, all those houses. And I know that they own some of the houses in Skerries. You know, if they buy up the houses in Skerries Road and get rid of them and bring the stands, you know, Kenny Dalglish stand out, and then builds up again. It'll be fantastic, but I can't see it. I really can't see it. I've been in there actually. I was with Tony Snell when we were filming our DVDs, and I went to his mother's. His mother lives there. She's a lovely woman.
Snelly.
Made us a cup of tea and a sandwich. Made us a cup of tea. And anyway, I was in the yard and I looked up and I seen this big flagpole, and I said to Tony, "What do you think that flagpole is?" And he went, "Just a flagpole." I said, "No." I said, "That's the mast of the Great Eastern. Isambard Kingdom Brunel's Great Eastern." Because it was baked in Liverpool. This was the mother of the Great Eastern. Did you know that?
No, I had no idea, Frank. No, that's an excellent piece of info. Thanks for that, man.
Yeah. So he went, "Is it?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Shall we film it?" I said, "Yeah, if you want." Whether we did or not, I don't know. Given the information. Okay. So Brian Headley, spot on, Brian. Spot on, Brian. Backman, FSG, I've spent all day intend to do for another season. Gravenberg a massive show for number 6, says Daryl Merry. And our lovely Lisa, there she is again. She stayed with us, isn't that lovely? That's lovely, though. I think Trent would be a great number 6 and go and get Frimpong, who is a far better defender than Trent and just as good going forward, says Lisa. I think we're interested in a lad named Barco, another Argentinian, by the way. Another Argentinian. So whether we, I don't know. Barker. Is it Barker or Barco? I'm quite sure.
I don't know. I haven't heard of this guy yet. They're usually quality, though, Argentinians, aren't they? You don't get many RG duds, like.
No. And they're hard players, by the way. They're very hard.
Jay Madden.
Yeah.
That was before. I keep yawning tonight, and before I yawned, it made my eyes water, and I went like that. And one of my contacts, I never knocked it out because it was still in there, but I'd knocked it askew, so I couldn't read properly anymore. So the old glasses had to come out.
Well, as he says, Dame Edmund Everett makes an appearance later on, loving the window verse. The windows verse. Charlie, will Klopp as a plan? I'm sure of that. Yes. I'm sure of it too, to be honest, Charlie. Lee Coogan, very sophisticated, looking very sophisticated. Looks like he's out about. Looks like he's about to turn into Superman. Clark Kent.
No, I'm a bicycle repairman. Mr. FG Superman is my alter ego.
I was going to say so. I'll sleep. JK says, Batatic isn't a number 6 for me. He's neither the number 6 for me. JK, thank you. He can play in the midfield, no doubt, but would his legs be able to handle playing DM for a big club like ours? No. No, that's why he's out, isn't it, now? That's great. Norman, it's a dog like Mascherano we need. Absolutely. Brilliant. Great. Andre, Daryl Merry says, Andre Frank, I don't feel Klopp wants him. I think Klopp has a plan. I think we're signing Frimpong and advance rent. Just watch. Well, that's what the lovely Lisa said, wasn't it? That's what the lovely Lisa said.
I think Klopp's got a plan. We just haven't got a clue what it is, have we?
It's like the Szoboszlai and the McAllister thing, isn't it? You know, we never, even a million years thought that we're going to get a player of Szoboszlai's talent, class. Came as completely out of the blue. We have to believe in some players who need to feel part of the club as well as the team, just like Son at Spurs now. I refer to great prospect and Endo to follow the same route Cesar to Schofield. And Norman says it's a Mascherano type that Roy Evans' sides could have done with. Yeah, you're right there.
Yeah.
Because they had a great side, but then they were labelled the Spice Boys.
We had the 3 centre-halves, didn't we then? And Evans said we don't need a proper defensive midfielder with 3 centre-halves. He said Redknapp and Barnes was enough.
Yeah.
Or Redknapp, or Thomas and Barnes, or Redknapp and Thomas.
Yeah. We need to make the Wales most famous cup the biggest in the Wales.
Yeah.
We
I
had
was
the chance
thinking that.
to.
I was thinking that before.
We had the chance to. And there's a Man United fan jumped on. He's just saying Man United. Hey, good luck, Man U fan. Hello, welcome. That's a cracker.
I've done ones like that before, but it's always on a Liverpool channel, though. I'll just put Liverpool. As many times as I can be bothered typing it.
And Norman says you can still expand the cup and continue to have a rose under it. It's done abroad, it's done in Spain, and it's done in Italia. Because you can bring it out and cover it, you know, where it goes up and the road's still there.
Yeah.
It's like a tunnel.
Yeah.
It's like a tunnel.
Seen that.
It's easily done. And you know that I was talking, I'm going back years ago. I was talking to an architect, an engineer, I think. I don't know whether he's an architect or an engineer. And he said the two stanchions at the ends of each, side of the cup, they left it so that it could be moved backwards because they were, about the pub.
Yeah.
Get rid of that pub. They wanted to buy the pub, and they said we put the pub inside, and the fellow wouldn't sell, and so the cup would have been a lot bigger. Now today. So, it can be done. It can be done. But there's another caveat there. And that caveat is that to have over 61,000 or I think 70,000, you have to have a rail station.
Train station, yeah.
And do you know where the ideal place is? Do you know where the ideal place is? Right at the...
Is there an old line, that goes past there?
Yeah, there is. And that'll be ideal.
Mm-hmm.
It's where, I'll tell you where it is exactly. What pub did I used to go in? Every Christmas I always went in there. Begins with a C. I forget.
Go on anyway.
Yeah. Well, it's the continuation of Arkell's Lane.
Uh-huh.
When you go down Arkell's Lane, you just keep going.
Yeah.
Right along towards the drive. But before you get to the drive, you come to a railway arch. And that's where the station is. Right there.
Yeah.
What's the name of that road? Forget the bloody name of the road. Actually, I forget it. Anyway, that's where the railway station is.
Yeah, it would be great to have a train station and make it easy to get to for people.
Oh, easy,
You know, instead
Absolutely.
of getting hammered for taxis and that, like.
Absolutely. I can walk up from the ground where I live.
I'm talking about out of town people who aren't from
Yeah,
Liverpool.
yeah,
I'm not
I'm
talking
just,
about me, you know what I mean?
yeah, but
Yeah,
I
it
can walk to
doesn't
it.
bother me from where I live. Like, I could be at Anfield in, you know, in a far end, like, really. Like most people, you know, it's not that far when you actually live in Liverpool. But people who come outside Liverpool, a train station, it'd be nice for them, wouldn't it, to get to the ground?
Absolutely, but that's what would have to come into the equation to have it. Anyway, JK says the Kenny stand needs to replicate the main stand, absolutely, to make Anfield look great. The Cop also needs to be larger, but with a row behind it, and houses behind the Kenny stand, it's going to be difficult. Roman says, Snelly, brilliant. Also, hold your plums on Radio Mersey. Hold your plums. Frank, did you say Barco or Cujo for right back? Being class, lads. Thanks, Frank and Lee. Great sharing a screen with you. Stay safe and up the Reds. Let's get a great win. Yes, of course. Soulboy says, as long as he doesn't turn it, as long as he doesn't turn in to say Les Patterson. As long as he doesn't turn into Barco plays for Boca Juniors, Frankie. Yeah, Barco plays for Boca Juniors. That's it. Barco. I knew it was someone. If you turn into Superman, put a 6 on your back, Lee. I'll give you a lit Saturday morning, say Stephen Snake. Hey, Man United fan, who do you support? Says Redbird. And given modern construction methods, they'll be putting helicopter landing pads around the stadium. We might not see it in our lifetimes, but it's feasible, believe me. Anyway, prediction.
I'm going to go 2-2.
2-2. Okay. Come on, lads and girls. What's your prediction? Quick one before we leave. And as Snafey says, ta for hosting, lads. Been brilliant. Cheers, everyone. Been a hoot as usual. Up the mighty effing Reds. So come on. Any predictions? I think they've all gone home or starting to watch a film that starts at 10.
Well, I'm thinking 2-2 on that. They'll be in front and we'll equalise. At what point I don't know, but I'm feeling 2-2.
Well, okay, Snafey. Tentacles out 2-0 for us, obviously. JK 2-1 for us. 3-2 for us, says Brian Edley. And Norman says, we will be done by VAR. Daryl Merry, 2-2. 3-2 with Cavani giving us a pen, says Soulboy Flan.
Oh, Cavani, he's that other City fella, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's that before.
Oh, hey. Oh, I feel we might get stung. I said it, didn't I, last week, Frank? I feel we might get stung by VAR at City. And I still feel
well, that's what Norman says. We'll be done by VAR. I'll give my prediction, says Redbird, after the match. Bang and show Frankie boy, and Ray of the Flowers. Redbird. Okay, thanks very much for that tonight. My prediction is 2-1 to the Reds. And Darwin to score. Darwin to score.
He looked hot to trot for Uruguay.
Yeah. I really believe Darwin will score. That'll do, mate.
Yeah, he
Lee?
looked on.
Now listen, I'm going to. I'll be doing the. I'll definitely be doing. I don't know whether to do it on Sunday. You know, the TV and the film review.
Mm-hmm.
Do you fancy it?
How would you structure it? Like you'd have to we have to watch the same film, like together.
Well, to get it started, you know, no, we don't watch the same film. It could be an old film. It could be an old TV series that you've watched, you know, to get it going.
Yeah.
So to speak. But I'll be doing a new film, and I've got it in mind, and it's a cracking film, by the way. Mm-hmm. I'll recommend it to everybody. Stephen Smith says, "See you, them bears at JK. You never walk alone." That's lovely. That's nice for our lads to say this. And our lovely Lisa, 3-1 to the Reds. Liverpool to score first and pick them off. Oh, well, that's a cracker, isn't it? Liverpool to score first and pick them off.
Same here. I've had a fantasy that we will win, but that like we'll go 2-0 up rather quickly in the first half and then try and manage the game from there. That's my fantasy win, is that we will win, like, say, 3-1, and we go 2-0 up within 20 minutes and then manage it from there. And it'll still be a tough game where they'll be all over us at times because we're on their pitch. But, yeah, that'd be my the way I could see us winning if we do win. It'd be more than a 1-goal win, you know what I mean? We'd sort of get on top of them and bully them a bit, like, or something goal-wise, anyway.
No, I think that's it. I tell you, it reminded me what you were saying there. We went 3-0 up in the Champions League, and we held them then. Just sat back and held them. We knew how to play them. Remember that game?
Yeah.
Champions League.
Yeah.
Semi-final. And was the semi, wasn't it? Quarter. And we held them back. Then we went to Main Road, or the Etihad.
Yeah.
Went up there and beat them 2-1.
Yeah.
They scored first.
Mm.
They scored first.
Well, remember Guardiola? Guardiola said after that two-legged tie, he said he changed the way he played after that because he knew he'd never beat Klopp's Liverpool playing without tailoring. He said, I've had to tailor my approach because if I don't, we won't beat Liverpool.
And Norman said, listen, if you want to tune in, do you fancy doing it on Sunday? Saying that we're playing on Saturday, because I was going to ask you to do it on the Saturday, you say, but saying that we're playing, do you fancy doing it on Sunday?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Say around 4:00.
Yeah, sounds.
Okay, so that's Sunday, 4:00 for TV and review, and a lot of other things thrown in, I suppose. But anyway, all you historians out there, I'll see you all on Monday. For all your football fans, I'll see you on the Tuesday. Now we're playing on Thursday next week, aren't we? In the
yeah.
So I'll be seeing you on the Friday. So you know these are the dates and things and whatever. So if you want to tune in about TV and films and a laugh, join me and Lee. It should be good.
Okay. So this Sunday, Frank, yeah?
Yeah, this Sunday, 4:00.
Okay, sounds.
This has been a brilliant show as usual from both of you, says Norman. Thank you so much, Norman. Take it easy, Snapey. Steph. Say Brian Anthony. Top show, Frank and Lee. You never walk alone. Let's get that win versus City, says JK. Thank you, JK. JK, we'd have to have you on. I wish you could just get your things sorted out. Get your things sorted out, please. You know, because he was having problems the other night, and it was sad, really. Because don't forget, he's come from thousands of miles away. JK, bless Redbird. Have a good one, bro. You never walk alone. Soul Boy, great show, lads. Looking forward to your movie tips as well, old or new, says Soul Boy. Thank you so much. So at least we will have someone tuning in. Thanks, Frank Lee. Enjoyed that. Come on, you mighty Red, says our lovely Lisa.
It's nice to have a good mix of old and new films, and I've always been like that since I was a boy. I always liked old black and white films as well as new ones.
Yeah, of course.
I don't know why. Maybe it was because me nan and granddad used to watch them a lot, like when I was a kid, and I'd go to theirs and they'd have an old black and white film on, and it just became part of the, I don't know, part of me mental landscape. Should we put it that way?
Yeah. I always remember, I was watching Noel Coward in Which We Serve.
Oh, yeah.
Against your shipmates. Yeah. Oh, he's a good old shipmate of mine, you know. I love the way.
Wasn't he, Coward?
He had a very distinctive voice and a sort of lisp. He had this sort of lisp.
Yeah.
But I know why the lisp was there, by the way. I'm not going to.
Did you have elocution lessons or something?
No, he's just a posh fellow, wasn't he?
Posh anyway.
My fantasy watching Man United getting relegated again by Salah Attrick at Old Trafford, says Stephen Snape. Norman, be great. That's Sunday, 4 p.m. Thank you. Sunday sorted, says Mark. Thank you, boys. We'll go for 2-1 for the Reds, says Arthur Schofield. Yeah, see. The Italian job, says no. The Italian job. You too, Brian, says Snapey. I'll be there on Sunday, lads. Let's hope we aren't talking about a nightmare on an empty ass. Cracker. I love it.
Good one, Brian.
It is. Ray, thank you for coming on tonight and helping me, and I'll see you on Sunday.
Yeah,
but what we'll have to do, you know, with the film review and everything else, just like the Thursday night bloody football, you know, we have to change nights because Liverpool obviously might be playing on a Saturday, which they will. So we'd have to change on a Sunday. I'm sorry. So we'll have to change the day again, you know, for the film review. Mm-hmm. Is that okay?
Yeah, sound, mate. Yeah, sound.
Okay. And the final one, and it's Norman. The Real Italian Job, Rome 77, Rome 84. That was at both games. Me, there, at both games. I remember being on LFC TV and I was talking about it. And when they put it out, you know, they came to my class. I was teaching. And they came to my class, you know, to talk about it. And I was chatting about it. And when they edited it and everything else and put it up, they had photographs of us. I didn't even know that my photograph was taken. And there you see me with black hair and long black hair. Unbelievable.
So how old was you, if you don't mind me asking, roughly, like at the time of the first one?
How old was I? I was 20.
20, yeah.
No, I wasn't. I was older, wasn't I? It was 20 odd. 20 odd it was. 20 odd. 25 or so, 26. But it was great, you know. I said to the lads going, I said, I've got two ambitions. And they went, what's that? I said, to see Liverpool win the European Cup and to see the Colosseum, go inside the Colosseum, just want to go and see the, you know, inside the Colosseum, the Colosseum, just go inside. I just want to get in there. Now, don't forget, at the time, there were strip clubs and everything here. And they went, I was with two of the lads, and they said, is the strippers on? I said, strippers on where? He said, at that place where you just said. I said, the Colosseum. And he said, yeah, that's the place. Is the strippers on there? I said, no. He said, oh, we don't want to go there. There's no strippers on. What kind of a club's that? I said, it's an ancient monument. I said, they told me to F off. We want a strip club. But to see me ambition. Absolutely brilliant. The van says, Brian Edley, I was 7 in 84, and when we won this shootout, we were dancing in the street with a fire engine in the background. Someone's cuckoo was on fire.
I just turned 11 for that one. I just turned 11 for 84. I remember it quite well, but not well enough because we're still a bit young, really. Like
Mark Simon says, Barco is a generational right back like our Scotsman on the left, only with amazing close control. That would be a brilliant acquisition. Still very young as well, says Mark Simons. Oh, thanks for that. Thank you for that, Mark. I was in Istanbul, incredible, says Norman. So was I. I must have bumped into you, and you must have been in Ant's clothes. That's why I wouldn't talk to you. Oh,
I was just in the pub with my brother, but I demanded that we left at half time because it was 3-0. But he'd never seen a European Cup final, our kid, because he wasn't born until 1983, our John. So he went, no, I've never seen one before. Don't you dare be saying we'll get off. And I did. I wanted to leave and go down the corner to a pub with no telly. You know them pubs that have no telly and no sport. It's just a bar and they have bands on site and there's no screens. That's where I demanded to go. But he blagged me to stay, and I'm glad he did. That would have been embarrassing if I'd have missed the second half.
Yeah. But I remember in Istanbul, the two fellas walking out, he got some stick off us. We called them traitors because you're walking out.
I never walked out of the match, but I wanted to walk out the pub. But
no, what I'm saying, you know, in Istanbul, walking out the gate,
I wouldn't have done that. Like,
they're rats, them. They're not supporters. Going F themselves. Just reminded me, Frank, about Rome when they bought spaghetti in. That's not spaghetti. Yes, Soul Boy. Yeah, that's the one of the stories that came out of that. You're so right.
And the other one, that
Isn't
fella
that
who
right?
said,
It's because it's El Dente, you see. El Dente, you know, the spaghetti over there. And it's not spaghetti. We got a tin of wine. That's all they were used to. I had this proper stuff.
There's one I remember hearing from Paris where some fella had a loaf of bread. He said he went out to buy a loaf of bread and his mate kidnapped him and took him to Paris for the 81 final, and he still had the loaf of bread when they got there. And he went, why have you got that? And he said, well, you've seen the bread here. It's crap, isn't it? So I brought it. I kept this with me. Instead of throwing it away, he kept it with him because he didn't like French bread.
Well, do you know in 1840, sorry, not 1840, in 1640, it was what you known as the Long Parliament. Mm-hmm. And this, you know, parliamentarian, you know, these lords or whatever, they said, I guess I go and, you know, go to the parliament, and, you know, there's a massive squabble and quarrel, and God knows what's going to happen. But what it was called a long parliament, and it was the king versus these parliamentarians, Charles I. Anyway, he goes, and she said, "Will you bring something back?" And he went, "Yeah, all right, what do you want?" She said, "Oh, get a leg of lamb or something, I don't know." So anyway, he goes, and he never went back for 2 years. 2 bloody years.
2 years.
Where's me loaf and leg of lamb? Oh, yeah, starving. I was made a sandwich, you know. Tell Francine we all hope she's done well. Oh, thank you, Brian. Thank you so much, fella. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I hear Frank was at least 50 and 77. Sure does look good for an old banger. See, that bit. The cup final of 86 is my greatest memory with my dad, now departed, says Norman. As usual, another show full of interesting facts. Well done, Frank and Lee. Good night, lads, says Arthur Schofield. Good night. Thank you so much, Arthur. The stage outside the Ataturk was packed with our fans. Bloke on tannoy kept yelling, "Stage is going to collapse," says Norman. I got on great with the AC supporters, you know, to be honest. Perché io parlo molto lingua italiano, molto bene. So I got chatting to them, and they were really good. Oh, you speak the English, the Italian. Snapey says, half time against AC Milan, I sent the offer to get some vodka, drown my sorrows. When she got back, I was leaping around like a intercancer silverback on real emotional fluctuations.
Oh, it was tough. It was a tough one. Half
I
time.
always remember a lady, she was talking, she was a Liverpool supporter, and they were watching it in the house. And her husband, he was a big blue, and he got a bottle of champagne out at half time and went, popped it. She said, "What are you doing that for?" He said, "Because." She said he wasn't doing it at the end, though.
Yeah, a couple of Evertonians come into the pub I was in watching Istanbul and started going around half time, but they never come back. They never reappeared. Like in the second half, after we scored one, they disappeared and never come back.
Well, that's a good little story there. Do you know what? We'll do one, you know, about memories as well. I might do it during the show on Sunday. How about that? You know, memories just like this. What Norman says, you remember outside the stadium was unfinished in Istanbul, our taxi broke down. We ended up pushing. And who passed us in another taxi was Michael Robinson. You know, stories like that, they're brilliant.
Yeah, Senior Robbo.
Yeah. Well, listen, Lee, I've got to finish, honestly.
Yeah, mate, yeah. He was a big deal in Spanish TV, wasn't he, Michael Robinson? He made a great career because he learned the language well, didn't he? You know, could speak it really well. And that's a great career, didn't he?
Didn't he die?
Yeah, he's dead, Mike Robinson. Yeah.
Robinson, yeah. But at least he went the game. And that's when Maradona became a big Liverpool fan. Do you know that?
No.
Because he said, "I've never seen anything like that. This great Liverpool side," he says, "I'm one of the biggest fans." He said that.
It got us loads of respect, didn't it? All over the shop, that final.
Brian says, "I was talking to Smeacher before the Villa game, before Istanbul. It was ironic when he scored. Tell it some other time." Yeah. Yes, Sleepy. Boss night, one and all. Yeah, we'll talk about things like that. It'll be good, you know, be good to the reminiscing coming out and the memories, the great memories. That'll be fantastic, you know, people. It really will be brilliant. And we can talk about it. And as I said, Lee, thank you so much. And I'll see you on Sunday.
Okay.
See you on Sunday. 4 o'clock, don't forget. Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, sounds. All right.
See you
Cheers,
later. Ta-ra, mate.
mate.
Thank you. And to you out there, thank you so much for joining Lee and myself tonight. It's been great. Great comments. Absolutely great comments. We've had a laugh as well. Great comments. And let's hope we do it. As I said, 2-1. I'm not going to predict who's going to score alongside the other lad. There's, Darwin's going to score, but I can't think he'll score the other. I really can't. I hope it's a defender. I really hope it's a defender, the likes of Virgil or someone. Konate if he plays, or even Matip, or even not Curtis. What's his name? Yeah, Curtis Jones. Why not Curtis? If he plays, that is. But Trent, how about Trent with a big thunderbolt? That'll do. Mark Simons, nighty night. Thank you, Mark. You're a good man. Norman. Half time, I went to the toilet and bloke I've never seen before said it's not over, you know. I said that. Brian Edley, thanks a lot. Thank you. Boss night, one and all. Thank you. Thank you so much. And I'll leave you all. Lee and I will see you if you want to join us 4 o'clock Sunday. And I'd just like to thank everybody. You really are. And if you're ever, you can still press the like even when the show finishes, the pod finishes. You can still press it. Thank you so much. Enjoy your weekend. Let's enjoy it then. Let's enjoy this. And up the mighties. See you all. Bye-bye now. Bye. Good night, Norman. Thank you. And that lovely JK. I hope you're on next week with us, JK. Peace, people. You never walk alone. That's what we want in the world. Peace. Thank you.